Hey, how's it going? I'm just going to do a quick commentary on this video, Virgin Galactic to launch Richard Branson into space, and bring out a little bit of numerology, and then bring out Obadiah, which talks about this whole space thing, as far as biblical prophecy and how important it is. And these American companies, which are some of the forerunners in this, like Bezos and Richard Branson here. So I'll just play it. The video length is 316. People, we know what that number is all about. So we know that YouTube rounds numbers to, biblical numbers. Like if you have a 43-second video, it'll round it to 44, or 616, is another biblical number, and then 33 and all that kind of stuff. So, this is amazing, that we're able to see this, that all of these things ultimately point to God and the truth of the Bible.
Can we talk about another one of the OGs, by the way? I think it's an OG, is space. It's been on that meme stock list for a while, hasn't it?
So right off the bat, they're just like laughing, joking around, like there's a pandemic apparently going on and stuff like that. But if you look at the symbol, I'll put the link to this video below for Galactic. It's like an eyeball, really, like the one seeing eye, the one eye symbolism. So that, just keep note of that.
It has an original SPAC, back up to 50. I think it was in the teens at one point. Sazi, your good friend, Sir Richard Branson, he's headed to space on Sunday. I guess weather pending.
So he's going to space on Sunday, okay, which is July 11th, okay, so 7/11. 7 times 11 is 77, and you add that together, that's 14. And so that number is very important because it's one of the numbers that signifies God's elect, 14 or 144. And so this is like another form of communication that we know what's actually going on. So how is it weather dependent? Okay, that he's going into space. Like, I mean, wouldn't you be like sort of leaving, and going to a generalized atmospheric place or whatever? This is absolutely absurd.
Because these things are always weather pending. Any take here? Good luck. Hope everyone comes back safe.
Wish them, obviously, a safe trip. This is something that I know I've obviously not seen before. Also, just from a financial standpoint, Virgin is still not making any money. They will not make money tomorrow, the day after, or 5 days after. It's unlikely they will make any money until 2023.
So they're not making any money, but they have a stock. Okay, like that. We don't need any examples of this, but the whole stock market is completely retarded. It has nothing to do with like a business being profitable, or which represents some amount of utility to the broader population. And so they're just like, it's just like a piece of paper, ultimately like a stock certificate. And it's just a tool that people can place bets, just where it's going to go. And then ultimately it's the fact that there's an incredible amount of money in circulation. That's absolutely not necessary. For money is meant to be an exchange of value. And so in a day, what would you need? You would need a home, you would need food, some amount of leisure, entertainment, and like stuff like that. And then, like once in a while you need a haircut, or like the things that you would need, to survive or whatever. And that kind of thing. And some people, you don't even necessarily even need a home, but like, let's just say in the age that we live in now, some amount of those things. And then, you would need that amount to transact, to build up a home for a person, and then, get food for the day, and then all those like sort of maintenance type things. And then, so that's the amount of money that would be needed in circulation, so the population could do those things, and then exchange value with one another. Not like have these SPACs, these special purpose entities, and all these stocks and all these stupid companies that don't serve any purpose at all. They don't make any money. No one, and you will see in this video, they don't even know what they're doing, or like they have no details behind what actually is happening. And so again, we know that all of this space stuff is to weaponize space. That's what NASA is a front for, and really the governments worldwide. And then I'll read that in Obadiah. And so they're ultimately aware that God exists, outside of the dome. And there's going to be this clash, this battle in heaven.
Or thereafter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like people are buying this because of the make money proposition, are they? They're making it because of the space proposition. I mean, one thing that I'm going to be watching here, maybe this is a little grim or what have you, but this feels a little bit to me. We've got the stock sort of going down a little bit this week, right? And then we have this event happening now this weekend, so the stock is gaining in the pre-market. It's actually up over the 5-day period. And And I have to think a little bit of some of the other weekend events that we have seen this year. I think most notably of the Dogecoin SNL connection. And so I wonder, and just on a long...
So based on like Elon Musk on Saturday Night Live, it drove Dogecoin up or down or something like that. This world is completely retarded. Like, we don't even have an economy, you know, like that's what I want people to understand, is that this is not an economy. So we can't even say it's a good or a bad one. And so that's, again, more and more evidence that we're in the last days, because we don't even have a mechanism for people to live, you know, at all. And so even the people at the quote high up, they're part of these companies that are useless. And so they don't have any kind of more comfort than we do long term. So just know that, like, in a normal, healthy economy, okay, you have people that work some amount for food, you know, and then that's the quote value that is behind money, you know, or currency, is access to food, because that's like absolutely necessary to survive. You can live without a home, you can live without even potentially clean air, you know, but you cannot live obviously without food for long periods of time, and water and stuff. So like food and water would be the what any currency should be backed by. It's like if you ask somebody how much, like, if like whatever they're holding in their pocket, like how much money do you have, you know, they'll tell you, and then they should be able to quote how much work they did to go and get that, you know, like I was on the field for this long and took this much food and then had it there ready for somebody to take it. And so I added that kind of value, you know, in the farm, or, you know, getting clean water, stuff like that. So that's what money should ideally be backed by. Or potentially, like in the Bible, it's like, you know, your cattle, you know, like your animals, you know, and all that kind of stuff, because like they are a mechanism for food, you know, and then they add value, you know, and all that. So it'd be something like that, you know, something that's truly valuable is what money should be backed by. And like now, like you ask somebody, they'll be like, oh, I made like a CD, okay, like, oh, I signed a M&A deal, mergers and acquisition deal. I put a ball in a hole, or, you know, if you're an athlete or whatever. It's just nonsense, you know, or you stole it, you know, like a lot of these politicians and stuff. So, or, you know, you sit in meetings all day and then plan how this is going to roll out and stuff. So like, needless to say, for people that come by my channel, we don't have an economy, you know, at all. And so a normal, healthy economy would have all groups of people having some requirement to go and, you know, work for their food. And then the Bible says if you don't work, then you'll starve, you know, you shouldn't eat. And so that's the way that economy would be if the Bible were the law of the land, so to speak. And we know that it's the opposite of it. So for a period of time now, but hopefully coming to an end. And then, you know, what I would think in like a healthy economy is like first of all, the people who are like disabled and not able to do that, you excuse them from that, you know, because they were born that way. They're not able to do that. And then other maybe really intelligent people, where it's better for the broader group that they go on their own and dedicate their time towards like advancing technology, okay, to make it easier for those people to get food. And then maybe eventually they don't have to, and then maybe eventually their homes can get bigger and safer and more powered, you know, in more efficient ways, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And so you kind of let those few people quote off the hook, and then they develop things, you know, and then they'll even build highways and, you know, to get food between people. And it would be all rooted in like work, labor, and then charity, you know, towards other people and that kind of thing. But that would take like so many years, like way longer than what God wants now. That's why, you know, what God is doing now. And that's why he has to use fractional reserve banking, because this time is very short. You know, Satan has but, you know, little time. And so to build up this place. Okay. And so now all these buildings and stuff are built up, and all these like stupid rockets and stuff, like, what do we do? Are you just going to build a new rocket every year? And all, like, how is that an economy? Like, how does that help anybody and like have anything to do with like getting food, you know, and all that kind of stuff for people? So I'm sure that this is obvious for a lot of people, but that's the way a healthy economy will run. And that's fundamentally the way the kingdom is structured, you know, where a few righteous people are off the hook, so to speak, you know, because they're going to take instructions from God, you know, from Christ, who's getting instructions from the Most High. And then they distribute that information out, okay? And then they've been chosen, you know, to be those leaders, and they're numbered 144,000 men. And so that's the way it's going to be, because that's the way that God would want it. And so they don't want it here, okay? That's pretty clear. We do not have that here. We have this moron going into space. You know, they don't even know where he's going and for, you know, why and stuff like that. And so that's the healthy model. Any common sense that we have in our brain, if we were to like imagine the way it should be, God's not far from that. Okay, he's not gonna just, he's gonna make things that we can't imagine, but he has common sense. Like he gives us that ability to think and reason. So that's the way the kingdom is going to be structured, and that's what we see in the Bible. And so all nations, all people on God's right hand side are going to report to the 144,000, and then they're going to be the ones who are the ones who are going to ensure that righteousness dwells, in the land. Okay, so just know that.
Longer term basis, sort of the classic buy the rumor, sell the news kind of situation. So once he actually gets up there, you have to wonder what's actually going to happen with the stock. Have people just been buying it in anticipation of Sir Richard going to the edge of space, to get technical? And
she's laughing. The edge of space, really? What's the edge of space, dude? These people are absolutely, it's duping delight. It's hilarious.
Then coming back down successfully, would you actually see the stock go down on Monday? We shall see.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the edges. I don't.
This dude's a complete clown. It's mad funny.
Exactly know what he's doing or what Bezos is doing, but I'm vaguely familiar that it's not like John Glenn going to space.
So when you watch this video, you can just tell this is like awkward, because like they're human in the sense like they're not, God didn't make them completely different than us. God's left hand side, like the woman on the left is like, she's cringing, she's looking down, she's like, she knows that this guy's just rambling about nonsense. The other guy on the right has this like stern face, he's like, oh my God, like something stupid could come out of this guy's mouth. And so just liars are like human in that sense. Okay, so we understand the psychology, and this guy's rambling to cover up a lie. It's like, how do these shareholders not know what they're investing into and where he's going to go and what technology, and like have some insight into it? Okay, they're supposed to be the quote owners of this kind of initiative and all that. So all this mystery and all these lies, I think we know exactly what's going on, what they're really preparing for.
Right. It's like something. It's like a modified version. It's not Tom Hanks in Apollo 13. It's like something else. So that's my.
So he's going into the atmosphere. Okay, big deal. And we'll read that in Obadiah.
My knowledge of space. That's where I learned everything.
Yes, they're going up to the edge. They stay there, I believe, for 7 minutes. I'm not sure. So they experience some weightlessness, and then they come back.
These Satanists, God's left-hand side, know that we live under a covering. Okay, they're not stupid. Okay, so like they fly planes, and like they design rockets and all that, like and stuff. So that's ridiculous. Okay, so like when they're talking about the edge, they're talking about the firmament. Okay,
Doc is still rocketed higher.
Is it like the height that the Red Bull guy went to when he jumped out, or is it maybe it's? We'll work on getting some details on that. I guess we're gonna have to know on Monday if it goes.
It's like ignorance. Like these people are laughing, they don't know, and like they want everybody else to just be like, oh, who cares? Oh, it's funny. Okay, like he's going to space. We don't know anything, and then it's like folly is regarded, in high regard, on this earth. And so just know that you're basically required to be stupid, to function here on this earth. And so that's again why my days are numbered, and like I think a lot of us know that our days are numbered.
As well, Sunday we'll have to talk about it and figure out.
Do some reading, but we need a diagram of like different people who have gone this far.
Yeah.
A diagram? Why not video it? Okay, why not just have this thing go up and like show us a video, like live stream or whatever? Like how hard is that? Okay, like maybe we don't need the beginning. Who cares? But like at some point when this thing is quote unquote steady state, why not like show us? Okay, and then we can see the Earth is flat. Okay.
I think we need to get our graphics on that.
Yeah, we did like a picture of the Earth and then the height everyone got to with the Apollo, the guys who flew I guess who stayed in the.
So the girl, just so people know, we know human psychology. The girl looks down because she's like, oh my God, this guy's rambling, like too long. And then the other guy has this like stern face. He's not blinking. Okay, he's just like, this is the way God's left hand side is. Like they worry when they have a quote unquote loose cannon, like the younger guy in the middle, like, oh my God, is he going to say something that like, will blow the lid off this thing, part of the fun. And so just know that, we read people.
The little console thing going around the moon, they got the furthest from the Earth that anybody's gotten. And then everybody else, I guess, gets incrementally closer to eventually us, basically.
These people are stupid. So in Bible prophecy, we see that this is the end time. So July 11th, keep that in mind. This guy is supposed to go to whatever, the edge of space. So 7-11, 7 times 11, 77, 14, okay? Which is, now, curious enough, we go to Obadiah 1:4, okay? 7 plus 7 is 14. And it says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord, okay? So just know that. I'll read verse 3 actually as well. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Question mark. Okay, these people think they're invincible, just going to the quote edge of space and all that. So we know that this quote space exploration is one of the triggers, one of the many triggers to let us know that we're in the time, like it says here, thence I will bring thee down, saith the Lord, when Christ will return, and begin the wrath of God officially, and then take away his elect. And this is in verse 14, okay, which is consistent with the numerology in 1 Thessalonians 5:9. Okay, 5 plus 9 does not add up to 14 by coincidence. And this is not in verse 1:4 by coincidence. And Richard Branson's not going to quote unquote space on 7/11 by coincidence. Okay, hope everyone's doing well. Bye.